keep your eyes on the old car up ahead on the road.
Look at this car right now.
I did.
What?
Oh my god.
What? Are we?
It just...
No. Are we crazy? No, it's gone. Wait, babe.
Wait. No, listen.
It's gone. A couple in Utah were driving through a quiet intersection when they spotted a vintage car up ahead. They glanced away for a second, and when they looked back, it had simply vanished. No turn, no side street.
What?
As they put it themselves, there was no tire shadow and nowhere for it to have gone. The clip exploded online, racking up more than 21 million views, and the comments lit up. A glitch in the Matrix, a portal, a car from another time slipping back out of ours. So what really happened on that Utah road? A trick of timing and a delivery van, or a car that simply slipped out of our reality for a few seconds? We'll let you be the judge.
Are we?
It just...
No. Are we crazy? No, it's gone. Wait, babe.
Wait. No, listen.
About 6 months ago, I decided to look into the basement that smelled like an animal had died down there.
For this homeowner, it all started with a smell. A creator who goes by Cigarette Spaghetti noticed it coming from his basement, the unmistakable stench of something dead. He'd know. He's ex-army and he recognized it straight away.
I don't know if I'm just tripping out or...
So he called in contractors to find the source. They suspected a cracked sewer line and replaced a pipe where the smell was strongest. It did nothing. Then one of them noticed a patch of discolored brick in the foundation wall and opened it up.
They open up the wall here and didn't find any dead animals, but they did find that, and that's not even the weirdest part.
Inside the wall, sealed away, they found a horseshoe and teeth and bones.
Teeth, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just tripping out or...
He says he didn't think too much of it at the time. He'd never believed in any of this. It was an old house. Old houses creak. He filmed it because it was strange and moved on.
Joe, stay.
That was the moment everything changed, because after the wall was opened, the house woke up. At first it was small, objects not where he'd left them, movement in the corner of his eye, sounds through the night. He genuinely thought he was losing his mind. In this clip, he starts filming because his dog is acting strange near the basement door.
What's wrong, Joe? There's nothing in there for you, buddy. Come on.
While this is happening, something strange takes place.
Come on.
A glass slides on its own and topples to the floor. Another night, he's filming himself when something appears over his shoulder. A tall, dark shape looming behind him. He pans the camera to the bookshelf and back again. And now, it's gone. You can see the books, clear as anything, right where the shape had been. Then things turned stranger still. He's letting the dog out one night when this happens. A book launches clean off the bookshelf on its own. He finds it on the floor minutes later and sets it back down without thinking. The book that flew off the shelf was the Holy Bible. And the next day, while at work, the security camera caught something he still can't explain. It looks, for all the world, as though flames are flickering up from the pages. Which brings us to the most recent clip. He's at the piano filming himself play when he hears a door open somewhere behind him in the house. And then watch the keys. A single key presses down on its own, one note in an empty room. He grabs the camera, not realizing what's just happened, and turns it down the hallway.
Never leave this door open. And I just walked in here.
The basement door is wide open, the same door he says he'd shut earlier that day. The same basement where the smell and the bones had started it all.
God, I'm so sick of this shit.
He calls himself a skeptic, a man who a year ago would have laughed at all of this. Now he's barely sleeping and documenting it all, just to prove to himself that it's real. And that whatever came out of that wall is still in the house with him.
Joe, stay. Who's there? Who's there?
It's just before midnight. A person sits at their dining table, scrolling, winding down for the night, completely unaware. Because right behind them, on the other side of the glass doors, someone is standing in the dark. This scary video was filmed on a home security camera in Melbourne near Caulfield and posted by a creator who goes by Dancing Horse 00. The timestamp reads 11:58 PM, and according to the uploader, the man stood there for 2 full minutes. 2 minutes at the glass watching while they sat just meters away and never once noticed. The uploader posted the clip, terrified, asking a single question: does anyone recognize this man? Because he's been turning up at homes around the area. So far, no one's been able to identify the man, and as of writing, he's still on the loose.
Where is that coming from? It's like it's way over there, but it's also right here.
A mother and daughter were out riding at sunset near Mount Shasta in California when they heard it.
Oh. Oh my God.
A strange sound drifting through the trees, almost like screaming.
This is straight apocalyptic. Somebody is summoning something here.
Most people would have ridden the other way. Carrie Ann and her daughter Jordan went toward it. They followed the noise off the trail into the brush, and what they found scattered across the hillside made no sense at all.
Oh my God.
Small, round, solar-powered speakers planted in the dirt. Not one or two, dozens. And the further they looked, the more there were.
Somebody is summoning something here.
Most pushed out a wall of white noise, but all of them together, slightly out of sync, it merged into something that sounded like static or screaming. The ones set off on their own were stranger still, because from those you could make out a human voice, repeating a mantra, a sermon, the word salvation over and over into the empty wilderness.
Something about salvation.
Who are the representatives of God for our spiritual enemies.
And if this was going to happen anywhere, it was always going to be Mount Shasta, because this mountain is one of the most spiritually charged places in America. For nearly a century, it's drawn mystics, UFO watchers, and seekers of every kind. Its most famous legend tells of Talos, a hidden city said to lie deep beneath the volcano, home to the survivors of Lemuria, a lost continent swallowed by the sea. But let's bring it back to Earth, because the grounded explanations are just as intriguing. Some think it's an audio perimeter for an illegal cannabis grow hidden somewhere in the hills. Voices in the dark to scare off anyone who wanders too close. Others suggested a deterrent to keep wolves or other wildlife away from something out there. Some pointed to the mountain's many spiritual communities and guessed it was a meditation or ritual installation. And a few simply noted that these little solar mantra speakers can be bought online for about $30 each. Any of which would be a perfectly reasonable answer, except no one has ever come forward to claim them. Carrie Ann went back and checked the maps. The speakers sit on private land right beside government property. But to this day, no one knows who placed them there or why. They're still out there, as far as anyone knows. Hundreds of hidden voices chanting into the brush at the foot of Mount Shasta with no one around to hear them.
Oh. Oh my God.
Our next scary video starts late at night when a woman gets a motion alert on her front door camera. She opens the live feed to see what set it off. A long, thin figure moving across the grass on all fours, fast and low to the ground. Some were certain it was the Rake, the long-limbed creature from internet horror legend. Others said it was simply a person high on something scrambling across her yard on their hands and feet. But it doesn't really matter which it was, because either way, something crawled across her lawn in the dark.
Just walked out here and put my car back, and this door's being weird.
She cleans the school at night, alone after everyone's gone home.
What the fuck? I don't know why the door is doing this. It shouldn't be doing this.
A creator who goes by shortysweets_candy films her shifts for TikTok. Most of it is completely ordinary, the mopping, the hallways, the quiet routine of an empty building. But every so often the school gives her a genuinely scary video doing something it shouldn't. Take this night. She's filming in a classroom when the door starts to move.
I don't know why the door is doing this. It shouldn't be doing this.
So she talks to it.
You can shut the door now and stop messing. Oh my God.
On another night, it was the lights.
The switch is way over there by the door.
You can hear the switch flicking on and off from clear across the room, with no one standing anywhere near it.
switch is way over there by the door.
Then there are the TVs.
I was just getting ready to vacuum my classrooms, and I can hear something. This TV turned on by itself, and it's playing some YouTube.
She finds a classroom TV switched on, playing YouTube.
Sort of creepy that it's playing kid cartoons and
Now she's quick to point out why that's strange. These TVs don't just flick onto a video. To get YouTube going, you have to wake the TV, open the apps menu, and select it by hand.
So these view boards, when they first turn on, this is the screen that you should see. There shouldn't be like any videos playing or YouTube or nothing, because you physically have to click on these to get into the applications, to get into whatever you're trying to do on them.
And as she's showing the viewers this, a TV in a completely different classroom starts playing the exact same way.
I have a kid ghost in here wanting to learn at night.
On another night, while cleaning, she hears a tap at a window.
They got this set up in the gym today, so... The f***?
A firm, deliberate knock. The door is locked, so she looks inside. Nothing.
There's nobody in here. There's nobody in here. This is locked too.
She checks the room next door. Nothing there either.
Nobody.
She comes back and taps the glass herself to show us exactly what she'd heard.
That's scary. All right, well, I'm good. I'm getting out of here.
Now, schools are old buildings. Switches wear out, doors hang crooked and swing on their own, smart TVs glitch, and sound carries strangely through empty halls at night. Any one of these on its own you could explain away. But she isn't filming one strange thing. She's filming them again and again and again. The same job, the same empty school, night after night. And whatever's in there with her, it doesn't seem to mind the camera at all.
We just got back from the A1A Outpost. We're about to head to the festival, so I want to do a quick what's in my festival bag.
Kayla Ryan is a beauty influencer with a following of nearly 750,000 people. Her page is the usual fare: makeup tutorials, get ready with me clips, product reviews. But one of her videos went viral for an entirely different reason. She's filming a simple makeup routine, applying product with a brush, when something happens that she can't explain.
Where did this just come from?
A second brush appears out of nowhere.
Where did this just come from?
In her caption, she put it perfectly. She said she felt like she jumped timelines. The clip exploded and the comments filled with the same two words: glitch, matrix. People convinced they'd just watched reality skip a frame. Now, there are other explanations. She's an influencer and these videos are heavily edited and stitched together. A cut at just the wrong moment, a duplicated frame, and a brush that was always there could suddenly seem to appear from nowhere. So we'll throw this one over to you, the viewers. A simple trick of the edit, or a genuine glitch in the matrix caught mid-makeup? Let us know down in the comments. Years ago, two best friends were mucking about in a bedroom, filming a home video, just kids being silly, one climbing onto the top bunk, the other down below. It was harmless, funny even, so they posted it on Facebook and forgot all about it. Until weeks later, the uploader's mum had a friend watch it back who paused and asked one simple question: whose hand is that? None of them had ever noticed, so they looked again. A hand reaching up beside her from someone who isn't there. And there was no one else in that room, just the two of them. She tried to explain it away, of course. Dust, a trick of the light, a glitch in an old camera, but every time she watches it back, she lands in the same place. That's a hand. Two friends sit on a couch, eyes shut tight, playing a game.
Okay.
It's one of those eyes closed challenges where you both try to clap at the exact same moment without being able to see a thing. They're laughing, fumbling, completely caught up in it.
Yes!
Neither of them is looking at the camera, and neither of them notices anything strange. It was only later, after they posted the scary video, that the comments started pointing something out.
Okay.
Her hair flicks sharply upward, lifting away from her head and falling back down.
Okay.
Slowed down frame by frame, it's stranger still. The hair rises up on its own high above her in a single sharp motion, and her eyes are closed the whole time. The on-screen question was simple. Did a ghost move my hair?
Maddie! Is it even still recording? How long has it been?
Two friends, eyes closed, not watching, not even aware, and in that one frame, a flick of hair that neither of them ever felt. Paranormal or just odd? That's up to you to decide.
Okay.
Time for our weird news roundup, where we run through the strangest stories making headlines right now. First up, El Salvador. A city surveillance camera in the municipality of Antigua Cuscatlan was scanning the night sky last Tuesday morning when it caught something it wasn't built for. At first, it looks like a glowing flying saucer hanging there in the dark. Then it shifts, morphing into a bright ball of light, before slowly rising up into the sky and away. You can almost feel the operator's disbelief zooming in and out, panning across the skyline, trying to make sense of what they're seeing. No official explanation has been offered. Next up, some good news for fans of the unexplained. After more than 2 decades in Portland, the International Cryptozoology Museum has just reopened in a brand new home in Bangor, Maine. Founded by cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman, it bills itself as the world's only museum of its kind, and the move has let it quadruple its space. Inside, you'll find thousands of artifacts dedicated to Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, the Yeti, and just about every cryptid in between. They're even planning a cryptozoology festival to celebrate. And if all this cryptid talk has you in the mood, we've got our very own cryptid collection over at slappedham.com. T-shirts, hoodies, and more featuring some of your favourite creatures from the channel. Every order helps keep the lights on here at Slapped Ham, and the link's in the description. Now, a somber one out of Thailand. In Khon Kaen, a 59-year-old man named Wich En has been charged after the death of his 57-year-old friend, Ban Jong. The two had reportedly been drinking together through the day when an argument broke out, and Wich En became convinced his friend was a Phai Pop, a cannibalistic spirit from Thai folklore. He's accused of attacking Ban Jong with a hammer, who later died of his injuries in hospital, a tragic reminder of how powerful and how dangerous old superstitions can still be. And finally, to Argentina, and a mystery that's left a whole town baffled. In the early hours one morning in Las Chacritas, San Juan, a woman heard a loud thud outside. She grabbed a torch, stepped into her yard, and saw something extraordinary. An enormous black bird clutching her 20-kilo dog in its talons, lifting the animal clear off the ground and up to the top of a tree, some 20 meters in the air. The bird was too heavy laden to keep flying and left the dog stranded up there, where police were called to mount a rescue. Remarkably, the dog, named Peretta, was brought down completely unharmed. As for what the bird was, no one can say. Scientists point out the local condor simply isn't strong enough to lift that kind of weight, while locals have offered theories ranging from an unknown species to a gargoyle to a witch. For now, it remains a complete mystery. And that's your roundup. Now back to the countdown. The Stanley Hotel in Colorado is one of the most famously haunted buildings in America. It was a stay here that inspired Stephen King to write The Shining, so people come from all over to take its ghost tours. And on one recent tour, a visitor captured something they can't explain. The group had gathered in what's known as the Lucy Room, said to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl. As is tradition, they stood holding out lollipops in the dark, hoping she might reach out and move one. The visitor took a photo and thought nothing of it. It was only later, scrolling back through their pictures after the tour had ended, that they noticed it. Look at the man standing in the background. There's something wrapped around his neck and shoulders, something dark, coiled, that shouldn't be there. The person who took the photo says they don't remember him wearing anything like that, and they were gutted they only spotted it afterwards, with no way to find him and ask. Now it's a dark room and a grainy photo. It could be the hood of a jumper, a bag strap, or the arm of someone standing just behind him, lost in the shadows. But the shape is a strange one, and no one on that tour recalls anything being there at all. So what was wrapped around this man in one of the most haunted hotels in the country? A trick of the shadows, or something the Lucy Room left behind? Drivers on the interstate near Birmingham, Alabama, looked up to see something hanging in the afternoon sky. A strange, dark mass with thin tendrils trailing beneath it, drifting high above the highway. It wasn't just one driver. Multiple motorists along the I-65 saw it, and several pulled out their phones to film. When the footage hit social media, the reaction was instant, and these days it's a predictable one. Fake, AI generated, another clip cooked up to go viral. The comments filled with people certain there was nothing real about it, and that might have been the end of it, just another clip written off and forgotten, except for who picked it up next. James Spann is one of the most respected meteorologists in America, a veteran broadcaster with more than 40 years of experience and a following in the millions. He confirmed the object had been seen by a number of motorists near Warrior, just north of Birmingham. Then he said two things that changed the conversation: that it was not a meteorological phenomenon, and that he wasn't really sure where it came from. Suddenly, people were taking it seriously. There are grounded possibilities, of course. A tangled cluster of released balloons, a kite or a bundle of debris caught high on the wind, twisting into that dark, ragged shape. But none of them have been confirmed. And the man best placed to recognize a weather event looked at this one and told everyone plainly that it wasn't. So whatever drifted over the I-65 that afternoon, watched by a highway full of drivers, no one has been able to fully explain. Our next scary video begins late at night as a passenger is filming inside a train carriage. A face, pale and wrong, staring back from the end of the carriage. And that's where it's left. A passenger alone with a face in the glass, not quite sure if they're imagining it, but the camera saw it too. Before we get to that #1 spot, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary and mysterious videos. We tend to think of zombies as pure fiction, a horror movie monster and nothing more. But there's one case, carefully documented by doctors and scientists, that suggests the legend may be rooted in something far more disturbing, and it's all real. In April 1962, a Haitian farmer named Clavius Narcisse walked into the Albert Schweitzer Hospital in Deschapelles, coughing up blood. His body was failing fast. Within 2 days, on the 2nd of May, 2 doctors, one American, pronounced him dead. A death certificate was signed. His family wept over him, sealed him in a coffin, and buried him in the village of Lestaire. As far as the world was concerned, that was the end of Clavius Narcisse. But according to the man himself, he never died at all. He would later say that he was awake through all of it, paralyzed, unable to move or speak, but fully conscious. He claimed he watched a doctor pull a sheet over his face. He felt himself being carried, and he was still aware as the dirt was shoveled over his coffin, and he was buried alive in the dark. What happened next sounds impossible. Narcisse said that shortly after his burial, his grave was opened. A Bokor, a voodoo sorcerer, dug him out, beat him, and dragged him away. He was taken to a sugar plantation, drugged into a will-less state, and forced to work alongside other captives as a slave. A man who, on paper, was already dead. He claimed he labored like this for 2 years until the Bokor died and the captives scattered. Even then, terrified, he stayed away from home for years. And then, in 1980, 18 years after his funeral, a man walked into the Lestaire marketplace and approached a woman named Angelina Narcisse, Clavius's sister. He introduced himself using a childhood nickname, one known only to the family and never spoken since his death. It was him. He answered questions about their lives that no stranger ever could. And in the end, more than 200 people recognized him as the man they'd buried nearly 2 decades before. So how do you explain a dead man walking back into his own village? This is where science stepped in. An ethnobotanist named Wade Davis traveled to Haiti to investigate and came back with a chilling theory. He believed the Bokor's so-called zombie powder was real and that its key ingredient was tetrodotoxin, a neurotoxin from the pufferfish hundreds of times deadlier than cyanide. In precise near-lethal doses, this poison can shut the body down so completely that it mimics death. A heartbeat too faint to find, breathing too shallow to see, enough to fool a grieving family. Enough, perhaps, to fool a doctor. Then, after the burial, a paste made from a plant called datura to cloud the mind and keep the victim docile and lost. Davis's theory remains hotly debated. Critics have questioned his methods and his samples, but no one has ever fully closed the case. Because whatever was done to Clavius Narcisse, the result was a kind of living death. A man erased from his own life and made to disappear while still breathing. So was this an extraordinary act of poisoning, a body chemically tricked into the grave, or is there a layer to Haitian voodoo that Western science still can't reach? Clavius Narcisse went to his grave a second time in 1994, and he never stopped insisting that every word of it was true. Now, if you want to see some more scary videos, then check out those links on screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one.